The hostage situation has now taken center stage in the war. Axios says that Israel is now willing to delay the ground offensive into Gaza to discuss the large release of hostages. Because once Israel launches a ground invasion, a deal for hostages will be nearly impossible. Hamas has also begun to loosen its grip on hostages. It says it is doing so on humanitarian grounds. On Monday, the militant group released 2 more hostages. 220 more still remain in the brutal hands of the group. Those who have been released give us a glimpse of what the others are going through. So who are these hostages? How were they abducted? What horrors did they endure for 17 days? Today, we listen to their stories. Hamas has freed 2 Israeli women. Their release was negotiated by Egyptian and Qatari officials. The 2 women were let go from Gaza into Egypt. They were later airlifted by the IDF. One of them is Yocheved Lifshitz. She's 85 years old. You can see her on your screens now. The other one is Nurit Cooper. She is 79. Yocheved Lifshitz has come out to tell her story. As you can see, the frail-looking woman is seated in her wheelchair outside the Tel Aviv hospital. On October 7, she was abducted from Kibbutz Nir Oz and taken to Gaza. The Hamas militants beat her and then hauled her on a motorbike, not like a human, but like an object. Listen in to the rest of the horror story in Lifshitz's own words. Her daughter has translated it for us.
My mom is saying that she was taken on the back of a motorbike with her head on one side and the rest of the body on the other. Hamas militants hit her with sticks on the way until they reached the tunnels. They did not break her ribs, but it was painful, and she had difficulty in breathing. Then they walked for a few kilometers on the wet ground of tunnels.
She says she has been through hell. But do you know what else she had to say? That apart from the initial beating, she was treated just fine. She also says a doctor visited her in captivity and made sure that she and other hostages received medical care. In fact, when Lifshitz and Cooper were being released, she turned back to shake the hand of a masked militant. She was also heard greeting him with a shalom. When asked why she did that, she said her captors fed her well, gave her medicine, and even allowed her to bathe. But I would suggest you take all this with a pinch of salt. Why? Because both the women's husbands are still believed to be in Hamas's captivity. They cannot afford to make critical statements right now. Hamas has been trying to portray itself as human. When it released its first hostage video, 21-year-old Mia Shem was heard saying, and I quote, "They're caring for me, they're treating me, they're giving me medication, everything is okay." But if Hamas is so humane, why was there such a heavy wound on Mia's arm? Let's not forget that it's the same Hamas that threatened to kill hostages and broadcast it with video and audio. Lifshitz and Cooper, however, are in good shape. Listen to what their nurse had to say.
I was happy to see 2 women who arrived back with us, all in good condition, very emotional, happy. I felt that it was a great privilege to stand and see and greet these 2 women. We took them to the ward where they met their families. Great happiness, many tears, a lot of crying, amazing people.
You see, the hostages seem healthy. Hamas has asked for nothing in exchange. Over the weekend, it claimed that the Netanyahu government rejected its offer to release the same captives. Israel dismissed the claim as Hamas's propaganda. Last week as well, the group released 2 American women, Judith Ranan and her daughter, Natalie. Reports claim that Hamas might release 50 hostages with foreign citizenship over the next couple of days. Many of these captives have medical conditions that need care or are elderly. So time is of the essence for their release. But the freed hostages claim that they were getting adequate medical care. Why is Hamas playing so nice all of a sudden? Since when did it start caring about the humanitarian aspect? WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.